Hey there, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Diane. It's been a while since I filmed a sit-down video like this, but I'm super excited about today's video because I'll be sharing my travel experience in a country that's very close to my heart, which is China. I lived in China for 5 years, and 2 months ago I just left the country after I finished my study. But fortunately, before I left, I got to travel around China, visiting like some of my favorite cities in China. So here I'm going to share some of my travel tips if you're planning to visit China anytime soon. Before we get started, I do want to thank SafetyWing for partnering with me in this video and making this video possible, but I'll talk more about them in a second, so let's get started with the first tip. One of the most common questions that I get about traveling to China is, can I travel to China if I don't know any Chinese, if I don't speak Chinese? A lot of major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Chengdu, or even like some small area like Yangshuo, where there's a lot of tourists going and visiting there, they do speak English. You can always utilize apps like Baidu Translate, which is like the Chinese version of Google Translate, and if you have VPN you can also use Google Translate. I personally use an app called Pleco. It's very helpful when you want to translate a word or like a Chinese character that you don't even know how to pronounce. So basically with this app you can just like try and write it down, and then the app will let you know how to pronounce it and what's the meaning. Nowadays a lot of young people in China, they also like speak very good English, and they're always welcome to help, especially if they know that you're a foreigner and you don't speak Chinese. Before you come to China, you do want to make sure your smartphone is equipped with some essential apps. I would say like a reliable VPN is a must-have, since you know most of the major websites and also apps are blocked in China. I personally use Wechat and also Astro VPN. I found that those two apps works pretty well in China, and you do want to make sure like you get your VPN set up ready before you come to China. I cannot stress enough about having a reliable travel insurance, especially in China. That's why I teamed up with SafetyWing, offering a game-changing insurance service tailored for digital nomads. I work in a medical field when I was in China, so I was researching about the best travel insurance you can get when you're in China. And that's how I came across SafetyWing. They got your back in China, which can be a bit tricky to find coverage for. SafetyWing is a great travel insurance option, whether you're a long-term traveler, remote worker, or digital nomad who want good protection on a budget. They're affordable, and also they're pretty flexible with their monthly subscription, which means you get good travel and medical coverage as you travel around. Another thing that I really like about SafetyWing is it provides another emergency travel related benefits, such as unplanned overnight stay, or if you lose your checked luggage, which is really important. If you want to learn more about SafetyWing, make sure to check the link in the description box below. Another important app is Wechat, which is like the Chinese version of WhatsApp. People use that as the most common communication app in China. But it also comes with different features like online payment. So a lot of people in China, they don't bring cash out anymore. They just use their WeChat, and you can use it to buy stuff at the supermarket, even like with street vendors. But unfortunately, you cannot connect your credit card to WeChat. You can only use the payment feature if you have Chinese bank account. As you might already know, Google Maps is unfortunately blocked in China. You still can use it if you have VPN, but I would say it isn't as accurate. I would totally recommend using Baidu Maps, which is the Chinese version of Google Maps. And you don't have to worry, even if you don't read Chinese or you don't know how to type the Chinese character, you can just type the pinyin or the Chinese alphabet, and it will still be able to recognize it. So I'll show you an example here. Let's say like we're in Shanghai and we want to go to this place that has Chinese name, but you don't know how to type the Chinese character. You can just like type the name in alphabet. Let's say we want to go get the Jia Tang Bao, which is like one of my favorite breakfast places in Shanghai. See? So I just type the alphabet and it will show you the place. Right. What if you want to book hotel, train, or flight tickets when you're in China? There are 3 main apps that I used a lot while I was in China. The first one is Trip, and then Ctrip, and the last one is the most common app people, like local people, use in China. It's called Qunar. Trip is the international version, so they use English and it's very accessible. However, Ctrip and Qunar are the most common use in Chinese because they have more options, and most of the time the price can also be lower compared to Trip. One thing you want to pay attention to when you're booking hotel from all of these apps is you want to make sure that they do accept foreigners, because some hotels, they don't accept foreigners. I'm so excited to talk about Chinese food because it's definitely one of my favorite cuisine. I just love the diversity of the flavor and it's truly amazing. I also love how each city has their own specialties. For example, if you go to Beijing, you gotta try the renowned Peking duck. Shanghai has an amazing xiaolongbao. I think like I eat that almost every day when I was in Shanghai. And if you love spicy food, definitely visit Chengdu. They're famous for mala flavor, which will give you a tingling sensation after you eat it. And since I used to live in Guilin, one of my favorite is of course Guilin Mifan or Guilin rice noodles. Local people have that for breakfast, lunch, sometimes even dinner. And don't hesitate to try out the street food in China. I think it's a very good way to immerse yourself in a local culture. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to traveling in China. If you're planning to visit China anytime soon, I'm sure you're gonna have fun and have a unique experience while exploring the country. Don't forget to check out SafetyWing, ensuring you have a worry-free and amazing adventures while you're in China. I hope you guys find this video useful, and if you enjoyed so far, please like the video and click the subscribe button. And if you have any questions about traveling to China, feel free to leave it in a comment box below. So that's it for today, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!